Ladies and gentlemen, I will call to order the Arvada City Council meeting for today, December 2nd, 2024. I will call upon Councilmember Pfeiffer to do the moment of reflection and the pledge.
Yeah, would you join me in a moment of silent reflection, please? And now for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Rush, if you'll do the roll call.
Mayor Simpson?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Mormon? Councilmember Ambrose?
Here.
Councilmember Davis?
Here.
Councilmember Pfeiffer?
Here.
Councilmember Marriott?
Here.
Councilmember Pfeiffer?
I'd like to make a motion to excuse Mayor Pro Tem Mormon from tonight's business meeting.
All right. All council will cast their votes. That passes 5-0. Mayor Pro Tem Mormon is an excused absence. Thank you very much. I will now accept if the minutes are approved as amended. Any additional corrections? Seeing none, those now stand approved as amended. And we have no recognitions or communications this evening, so I will move us straight into public comment for issues not on the scheduled agenda. However, we have no hearings tonight, so this is all public comment. First, I will call up Mr. Jim Morgan. Please quickly say your full name, address for the public record, and yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Jim Morgan, 7551 Oak Street. I'd like to start with a story about Davy Crockett. As you know, Davy Crockett was a great American frontiersman. What many people don't know is that Davy Crockett was also elected to the United States Congress. And as the story is told, upon his election, one of his constituents went up to him and said, "Well, Davy, now you're just a little bit lower than the rest of us." And the message was that in being elected to public office, he became a servant to the people. Not a ruler of the people, not a master of the people, but a servant to the people. I think it's good for this chamber to remember that, particularly understanding that it's your role to represent Arvadans, not unions, not contributors, not ideologies, but to serve the people. And within that, relative to the Early College Learning Academy building, the people with the greatest interest and subject to the greatest impact will be speaking this evening, as they have spoken over the past several weeks. And as servants, you really need to listen carefully, because it has great impact on them as well as Arvada. Sell the building, turn it into a daycare, early childhood learning center, turn it into a police training center, but don't drag down the neighborhood and all of Arvada with it by turning it into a homeless shelter and navigation center. Look to Boulder, Grand Junction, San Francisco, Seattle, and other cities for evidence of a lack of success of those facilities. Your alternatives, and there are many, are to utilize, for example, the services of the Denver Rescue Mission, or move Mission Arvada to a commercial industrial area at least 5,000 feet from any residential or retail business area. Rumor has it that you will have a consultant in attendance at your meeting Saturday. I trust that that consultant, if that's the case, is not the one that drafted the strategic plan on homelessness for you. Rather, it would be good for you to have differing views on various subjects and solutions, as opposed to just one source with one idea. It's good advice for this meeting coming up Saturday. Finally, no one wants to cast off the poor. That should be emphasized. However, there are many questions which must be answered prior to implementing any action. In fact, a vote of the people may be indicated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Mike Rawlick.
Good evening, City Council. Good evening, Mayor. Thanks for letting me speak again today. Name is Mike Rawlick, and I live at 18735 West 59th Drive in Golden, Colorado, 80403, on behalf of Ralston Valley Coalition tonight. Looking at Jeffco's example versus Arvada's example, Ralston Valley Coalition would like to ask that the City of Arvada consider amending the public comment or public testimony rules for Planning Commission meetings and City Council meetings. We've found that with the increasing complexity of the infill and other land use decisions, it is difficult to cultivate technically detailed testimony in 3 minutes. We would ask that the city considers adopting a similar rule that Jeffco follows. HOA representatives are allowed 10 minutes as long as they're in good standing, and also registered groups in good standing are allowed 10 minutes as well. We'd also ask that Colorado nonprofits that are in good standing could also be afforded this 10 minutes. Now, we realize that could make a longer meeting. We could also see about yielding time possibly, where if a nonprofit or an HOA was going to speak, the members that would yield their time could be here and say, I yield, and not just a blanket yield where, oh yeah, sure, your whole HOA yielded 50 minutes to me. But we could actually have people say, I yield, okay, great, and maybe someone can present a 10-minute, 15-minute presentation of a more professional nature. Additionally, I'd like to consider 2 rules of learning. This is stuff that I had to deal with when I was a flight instructor, and also I got this from Hofstra University when they do medical presentations as well. Laws of learning include the law of primacy and the law of recency. The law of primacy is what is learned first is learned best. Recency is what you've heard last, it what creates a lasting impression. So we can theorize that the current format of the applicant being able to speak first, then you have a citizen testimony, and the applicant gets the rebuttal period. They're getting the law of primacy because they get to present first, and they're getting the law of recency because they get to rebut, and the citizens have no form of rebuttal. However, there are instances like when we had the hearing about the Amazon, where we did organize a rebuttal and closing remarks with you, and we respected the time, and it was a long meeting, I understand, but it worked out pretty well. And also, I've had state meetings as well where we've actually been able to set up the same type of thing, closing remarks, rebuttal periods, what have you. It kind of becomes a more fair situation where the citizens feel more heard, where instead of it's the applicant speaking, making their case, we say a few things, they rebut, it's over, we don't get to speak anymore. We asked the city to look into formats that allow these types of things for us, and might help our presentations a little bit more. So with that, thank you very much for letting me speak today.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Deb Walsh.
Hey, my name's Deb Walsh. I live at 13009 West 61st Circle. I've been a resident here for 30 years, and I have a question. When you build a new development and they put the construction-grade asphalt down, when does the city go in and put in the final grade of asphalt? What's the time frame?
Ma'am, during public comment, City Council is not allowed to respond. However, if you do ask your questions, we will note them, and a member of the team will get back to you with all of the answers, I promise.
Okay. I know that the construction-grade asphalt is not the final thing. My development was built in 1988, and we still have the construction-grade asphalt, which is completely deteriorated in this development. I did send an email to my representative. I don't even know if they're still here. And he got back to me. I invited him to come walk my neighborhood so I could show him what was going on, and I was ignored. He did send the email over to the streets department, and that person told me that you forget about it. You're never going to get your street resurfaced. But you never finished what you were supposed to do I think it was 38 years ago. So, and I know that there's other neighborhoods in the same conditions, so I just wanted to know what your protocol was with that. The other thing is that when you don't take the trash here, it used to be $5, now it's $12, and why are you raising that? Why do you keep raising it? What's the reason for all that? That's like another tax that the citizens are paying that don't take your trash. So that's the 2 things, and I guess I don't get an answer here, so thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Laura Sandowski.
So my name is Laura Sadowski. I live at 6235 Xavier Court, and I want to address the proposed shelter at the ECA on Marshall Street properties that border and impact Arvada neighborhoods. In Denver, the effort to manage visible homelessness is creating a tiny home communities and converting hotels into shelters, and it shows impact of simply moving the visible homeless rather than addressing the mental health issue. Denver has been clearing encampments to try to support the new housing and shelter resources only for visible homeless to reuse the available housing. Instead, they are choosing to move away from the city and set up encampments in places that have never been before, in returning spiking crime rates in the areas they move to. What's crucial to understand is that many visible homeless individuals aren't accepting available shelters, housing, or housing vouchers. These options are available, yet are often rejected due to program requirements that promote stability through sobriety and mental health support. Meanwhile, community members provide food, clothing, and supplies directly to the visible homeless, unintentionally supporting a cycle by bypassing structured services. We can do better. Instead, Arvada runs a campaign to focus on strengthening and supporting our nonprofits and organizations that offer lasting solutions. The city should educate constituents on the unintended impact of directly giving to the visible homeless, and highlights how supporting structural programs promotes accountability and connection to other available resources such as housing, and how it is better approach for these individuals. By redirecting the aid through supportive organizations, we can reduce the visible homeless population that will lead people to housing security, improved safety, and lasting recovery options. Let's work together. Lasting changes will help the homeless, solutions that bring compassion and structure to our community and for those who are in most need. So I think we need to relook at how we're addressing this, and we should not have the homeless shelter in a neighborhood where there are children, elderly, and other people that are using the neighborhood and local parks. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Tiffany Munoz.
Tiffany Munoz, 6275 Xavier Court. I'm here to propose we use the ECA building to strengthen and support the Arvada Police Department. Our police force has outgrown facilities such as evidence locker and jail. Additionally, they are in need of a shooting range and practice facility. The Baker sector, which covers Old Town Arvada, faces the city's highest level of crime, including homeless outreach calls. Crimes related to the homeless account for 68% of all of the calls. CORE, which consists of only 2 officers, have stated that they lack the bandwidth, resources, and staff to handle the current volume of homeless individuals in camps in Old Town. Adding a regional facility will overwhelm our already strained resources. With such limitations, how can we expect to continue building off CORE? If we look at crime data, Arlington Meadows saw 34 minor offenses. The ECA saw 55 crimes, mainly traffic incidents. However, Old Town recorded 500 crimes in just 7 months, mainly disorderly conduct and drug violations. Relocating services to the ECA could lead to an 809% increase in crime in our neighborhood. Boulder is another example who saw an increase from 8 to 102 unprovoked violent crimes committed by homeless individuals when their shelter opened. In addition to managing a high volume of crime, the Arvada Police Department collects an average of 23,000 pieces of evidence annually. This figure does not account for the newly established units. Proper evidence handling and maintaining the chain of custody is critical, as it is much needed additional space. With the opening of a new hotel and the construction of additional homes, Arvada's population is growing, leading to an increase in calls for service. We need to support the police in managing these demands rather than adding a new resource that they are not supported to handle. The ECA building can become a dedicated space for the police department, providing the space for evidence storage, a training facility, and any additional resources, allowing them to better serve Arvada. In addition to repurposing the ECA to support our police, we need to invest in security measures for Old Town with the buy-in from local businesses, such as hiring private security company to monitor the area and address the safety concerns. Council members told Arlington Meadows, although we are a part of Arvada, we are located in Adams County and would now rely on Adams County Sheriff's Office, a service the Sheriff Office is not responsible for providing with our neighborhood. Arvada Police is the prime primary responder ensuring timely support and protection. However, Councilmember Ambrose stated that the City Council expects Adams County Sheriff's Office to manage challenges related to a proposed regional shelter. This is due to the county's wraparound services for those taken into custody. Adams County Sheriff's Office is 15 to 30 minutes away, and in an emergency, these critical minutes are the difference between a timely response or none at all. Stretching emergency response times will strain relationships with residents and not address the homeless. The current goal appears to be focused on building a shelter as a solution to the issues in Old Town, when it should be supporting our police force, expanding core, and investing in security in and around Old Town. Repurposing the ECA building to support Arvada Police would address the needs of our growing city and provide meaningful assistance with ensuring the safety of Arvada.
Thank you. Next, we have Roland Baca.
Hello. I don't know any formal stuff like that. All I know is I lived there for 30-something years, and in all that time, I never seen no fighting, nobody partying, home parties, or drugs, people all over the place. At a certain time, people are in their doors. All I've seen is family all over, women walking their kids, kids playing. All I ever seen, all those years that I lived there, was really peaceful and very, very nice. It's a very, very, very nice place to raise your kids up. And I just wish you will consider, because if we bring that place there, and once capacity fills up, and I read one time that she's wanted to make it a main hub for, metropolitan area, and that place fills up and more people come, then where they're going to go? But Tent City. Start building Tent City. And that's going to bring in our community. And right now, we really have a peaceful community. It's really nice. But that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Ruth Schaefer.
I'm Ruth Schaefer, 6039 Winona Court. I am here in opposition to the spending of money on a navigation center in Arlington Meadows or any other Arvada neighborhood. First of all, I don't believe such a facility should be in a residential neighborhood. Secondly, after much research, it has become clear that the money put into these programs is difficult, if not impossible, to follow. On November 26, Channel 7 reported on an audit of Denver spending $150 million in untrackable expenses for homeless shelters. I have researched the Denver Metro, as well as Oregon, California, and even Canada, to see if the input of millions of dollars equals a positive outcome. In most cases, there are no numbers that indicate the program's success based on the dollars spent. In Wheat Ridge, the program reports assisting 260 people, with 127 placed into housing since its inception in 2020. Really, in 4 years, and how many millions of dollars? Only 260 people were helped. Colorado's Common Sense Institute found the Denver metro area already spends 2/3 of $1 billion a year in combined public and charitable funding on homelessness. We all know it's not the homeless mother sleeping in her car causing the problems. It is the junkie dropping his needles where he uses them and defecates wherever he wants, or the mentally ill person screaming in response to his voices and scaring anyone around him. And now, with the readily available Narcan, the junkie can challenge the limit they take and increase their high. This is a problem of human services, which includes government entities from city, county, and state. Jefferson County has the best mental health services of all counties. In fact, Jefferson Mental Health provides ride-along mental health professionals with the police for Arvada. Yet we have gravely disabled people who are a danger to themselves or others on the street and not on a mental health hold. If the ride-along professional is not capable of assessing the need for mental health hold, then they need to get someone who is. The city needs to pressure Jefferson Mental Health to be more active in addressing the mentally ill wandering the streets and self-medicating with substance abuse. I believe when word gets out that Arvada is hospitalizing their drug addicts, they will move away from Arvada pretty quickly. It is our duty to help those that cannot help themselves due to biological or drug-induced mental and cognitive impairment. Jen Levovich is the founder of Streetscape in Boulder and an advocate for the homeless. She herself is a survivor of addiction and homelessness and says, Housing is not an intervention for mental health and addiction. Treatment and recovery is. We are not doing any good by continuing to give handouts and not expecting people to take responsibility for their lives. There are mechanisms already in place. We need to use them more aggressively. The Colorado Mental Health Institute at Fort Logan is a locked state facility that had 12 units at one time. But due to budget cuts from state legislature over the past 25 years, that facility now has only 4 civil units and 1 recently added forensic unit.
Miss?
Maybe Lisa Ferret can be an
ma'am.
advocate to push for more mental health and drug treatment beds at the state level. As I said before, this is a problem for all government entities, and we should implore them to step up to the plate and address these issues with more money for mental health and substance use.
Ma'am, your time
As
has
a city, we
expired.
need to
I'll give you a
utilize
few
the
more seconds
services
to
we
wrap it up,
already have
please.
and get the menacing people off the streets and into treatment. We can then determine if Navigation Center is really needed.
Thank you very much. Renee Cornell.
Good evening. I don't have an earache, I'm hearing impaired. I want to talk to you about the Navigation Center tonight. I've lived in Arvada for more than 60 years, enjoyed progress made in our city. I believe Arvada is a great place to live. I voted for those in our city because of that. Now, my trust has been broken. I have never seen or never been so involved with this homeless shelter as I am right now. It's stressful, but I believe this building will cause more headaches than we could ever imagine. Identify homeless that want help and those that don't. Proceed with people who know how to get them help. Make them accountable. Gangs will filter in with these homeless. I say this from a homeless person that I've known. It's a long story, but really sad. Expenses for this building will be overwhelming. Homeless will cross West 60th and get hit by traffic. Lawsuits will happen. Broken pipes, crime. Everything you can imagine will be taking money from our city. Last, I would like to finish in saying, you cannot fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed, but you can ruin our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Lillian Alish, or Alish.
Hey guys, I don't have my reading glasses, so bear with me. My name is Lillian Alish. I live off West 61st Ave. Good evening, you guys. Over the past few months, I've had the privilege of getting to know many of you guys and seeing your commitment and unwavering dedication to the city of Arvada. So thank you for that. I know that your intentions are all good. As you prepare for the December 7th study session, I encourage you to take a thoughtful, solution-driven approach to homelessness. It's important to recognize that we are addressing 2 distinct groups: individuals experiencing visible homeless, often linked to mental health and addiction challenges, and families on the brink of homelessness due to struggles like the cost of living or family crisis. These groups have unique needs, and attempting to combine them in a one-size-fits-all solution will not work. It has not worked. It does not work. Data from the Arvada website underscores this divide. 29% of those experiencing homelessness cite substance issues, 32% family issues, 35% cost of living. This demonstrates the need for tailored solutions. Targeting mental health and addiction recovery services can help those individuals with the visible homeless in Old Town that you guys are trying to solve. While proactive measures like affordable child care can help stabilize those families before a crisis occurs. We know that navigation centers, while they're well-intentioned, often fall short of their goals. I'm still waiting for somebody to send me a navigation that works. Haven't found it. It also strains the resources on the police department, the fire, hospitals, everything around you, the community, the roads, the parks that you guys are already desperately struggling to provide for. By investing in these proven services, you can create a meaningful change and strengthen families and build a more resilient Arvada where you can make a greater impact. The study session is a chance to lead with unity and purpose, grounded in thoughtful and forward-thinking solutions not to repurpose a building based on outdated or short-sighted discussions and data. History offers us lessons such as challenges faced in Boulder or Grand Junction, where initial support for similar shelters and navigation centers turned completely awry and everybody around it regretted it. I disagree with the use of the ECA building, anything to do with the Homeless Navigation Center or shelter, but you do have a unique opportunity in the ownership of this building. You can create a lasting change by repurposing this into something that you invest in East Arvada. You guys wouldn't dare putting something like this in West Arvada. You guys turned down the, what's it called? The RV park. Think about putting this somewhere near West Arvada. You're putting it in East Arvada. I want you to take this moment to really think about investing in East Arvada. Stop making it your dumping ground for the rest of Arvada. So thank you for your leadership. We're relying on you. Bob, you told me to trust you. I'm asking you to prove it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mike Schweitzer.
Good evening, City Council. Thank you for your time to address you tonight. My name is Mike Schweitzer. As you know from Ralston Valley Coalition, I live at 14615 West 62nd Place in Arvada. We were disappointed to learn of the discontinuation of the online remote access option for participation in Planning Commission meetings. I'm sure we can all appreciate the value of remote access for presentations and meetings when on-site presence for concerned individuals is not an option. We addressed this in a Planning Commission meeting for public comment a few weeks ago, and was suggested at that meeting that we bring this matter in front of you in the City Council. We'd like to request the City of Arvada reinstate online remote access options for Planning Commission attendance. We understand the need for online attendance option was driven by the pandemic a few years ago. The benefits to the community and Planning Commission are valuable for continuing to provide this option to the community. Public participation in governance is a cornerstone of our republic. Representatives and government agencies benefit from the varied perspectives citizens provide, whether individuals are a subject matter expert in a specific field, or citizens have a general and genuine interest in a proposed project. From a range of concerns for public safety, capacity of infrastructure and resources, health and welfare, citizens do study issues and provide thoughtful feedback. Our participation helps garner the best possible outcomes. Planning Commission is integral to this, as they are appointed by elected representatives to assess the viability of proposals and determine that they meet the criteria for recommendations for approval or denial by City Council. Many of these projects are important concerns to citizens in our communities. Citizen participation at the planning stages regularly bring new perspectives of on aspects of a proposal, allowing this information to be heard allowing this information to be heard is an important benefit to inform Planning Commission's decisions. The remote access option opened Planning Commission meetings in our communities. Citizens may not be able to attend in person for a number of reasons: work or personal schedules, transportation issues, households arranging childcare in order to attend, and physical and other medical issues. Any number of reasons. Technology allows the option for participation online. This also encourages a wider demographic to engage. We've seen Planning Commission and City Council have benefited from the increase in citizen participation options. We hope the city will continue to embrace these options for citizens' engagement. To remove this option creates an obstacle for citizens to voices to be heard. We ask that City Council, where am I? Please reinstate the ability for citizens to be heard and participation in Arvada City Planning Commission meetings through remote access. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Arthur Teeter.
Arthur Teeter, 6145 Xavier Court, Arvada, Arlington Meadows. By this point, you're probably thinking, don't these folks have something better to do on a Monday night? And we do, but this is important. We're fighting for our homes here. One good thing that's coming from this, it's empowering our community. So Old Town Arvada has a problem with the homeless, and it's driving away business. Plan has been hatched to move the homeless to the section of Arvada that resides in Adams County, call it a navigation center, and sneak it past the residents. I've heard 200 to 500 beds. That's some prodigious navigating. We are well aware of how you feel about our subdivision. At Arvada rec centers, we are non-residents. The other day, my wife and I had to call 911 for a neighbor. Got Arvada dispatch, was informed that I needed to call Adams County dispatch. Adams County dispatch then informed me that I had to call Arvada police. I got to listen to the two dispatchers argue back and forth over who had jurisdiction. I've been told by an Arvada City police officer that I'm never to call the Arvada City Police. Arvada looks down on us because some of our taxes go to Adams County. Adams County looks down on us because some of our taxes go to Arvada. Arbitrary lines were drawn long before any of us lived there. But Republican Arvada currently has a Democrat for a mayor. I would bet that our subdivision in Democratic Adams probably had something to do with that. I know a lot of us right now are kicking ourselves for our vote. I hear Adams County is under the impression that Arvada is building them a homeless shelter. The city of Denver thinks it can use this for overflow. If your objective is to attract the homeless to Arvada, you're on the right track. Many years ago, I was the homeless guy. The majority of us self-medicated. When it came to priorities, drugs came first. To pay for it, some had jobs, some cooked, some dealt, prostitution. Sketchy ones got their cash via theft or violent crime. When it came to food and shelter, we relied on government subsidies. If you open up this food shelter, homeless shelter combo, all these people will come. We have plenty of places for an encampment. We're just missing a library and trendy bars needed to warm up, meet dealers and Johns. But they're only one short rail hop away. They don't check tickets between Old Town and Gold Strike, and if your objective is to mitigate homeless in Old Town, I think this is going to have the opposite effect. Once you start this ball rolling, there's no going back. It will destroy our neighborhood. I'm hoping that before you decide to plunge this dagger into the backs of the constituents that elected you, you'll come to the realization that the destruction of Arvada neighborhoods is not the legacy this administration wants to hang its hat upon. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have Bruce Morrison.
Hi, I'm Bruce Morrison, 6521 West 69th Way, where I've lived for 35 years and raised our children here. I do live in District 2, where the Navigation Center is going to be located. And I'm here to testify in support of using the Early College of Arvada building for a Navigation Center and shelter. Total homelessness has already doubled since 2022 in Jefferson County. This is because of high rents and low wages. The homeless are already here in Arvada. 1/3 of the homeless in Jefferson County are in Arvada already. They are sleeping anywhere they can find. They are already in the Arlington Meadows neighborhood. Now, I can sympathize with the fact that Arvada does prioritize Old Town, and the city does prioritize Western Arvada, where people with more resources and wealthier and have more power. But we need to deal with the homeless because they are here, and without services, they will be more likely to be not have a place to go to the bathroom, not have a place to shower, and not have a place to be clean so they can succeed at job interviews, and so I think this shelter is very, very needed. However, and the city has been kicking the can down the road for some time, particularly the previous city council that really only pretended to look at homeless, and it's way past time that we deal with homeless, deal with the concerns raised by the neighborhood, and move forward as fast as expeditiously as possible, because these are real people and they are in our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Joyce Richardson.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Joyce Richardson. I've lived at 6521 West 69th Way for 36 years, not 35. I am here again this evening to voice my continued support for a navigation center at the former Early College of Arvada building. Every city in the metro area is facing residents who are homeless, nearly homeless, or facing hardship of some kind. It is important that we care for those who are suffering setbacks, and a navigation center that will house organizations that offer help is a great first step. I am also a proponent of a 24/7 shelter. I appreciate homeowners have concerns. I live in an area, we tried to fight the Walmart, we lost. I know most folks don't like change. The reality is that change is upon us, and whether we will meet these changes with care and grace is the issue here. I urge you to move ahead with the Navigation Center in the building you purchased. I commit to volunteering with the nonprofit organization that you find to run that facility, and I would choose to help keep the grounds clean for the neighborhood in the area. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, we have Karen DeGuero.
My name is Karen DeOetto. I live at 4816 West 61st Place. Today, the residents of Arlington Meadows proudly submits enclosed speeches that reflect the passion, ideas, and dedication of our community. These speeches, some of which have been delivered since October 7th and others which could not be presented in person, are submitted for your review ahead of the city's study session scheduled for December 7th. Our goal is to ensure that our voices contribute meaningfully to your deliberations regarding the future use of the ECA building in our neighborhood. We want to emphasize that the speeches enclosed here, due to the constraints of a 3-minute time limit, present ideas in a high-level format. However, these summaries are just the beginning. Behind each proposal is a wealth of expanded thoughts, detailed research, and innovative solutions. Our community has a genuine desire to collaborate with the city, and we are more than willing to share this deeper work to help explore and create new uses for the ECA building. Should the city wish to reach out for collaboration, we would be delighted to dive further into these ideas together. We recognize and share the city's commitment to addressing homelessness, a pressing and complex challenge. Our proposals are rooted in the belief that we can create a meaningful, lasting change without placing a shelter in a residential neighborhood, which we feel is incompatible with the needs and character of Arlington Meadows. Instead, we urge the council to prioritize proven, proactive approaches that tackle homelessness at its roots. By investing in existing successful programs, enhancing preventative measures, and supporting essential services, we can help individuals regain stability while strengthening the community as a whole. Among the enclosed speeches are proposals that reflect our community's creative and research-backed solutions, including repurposing the ECA building to support public safety initiatives, proposing sustainable community-centered development to enhance resilience, investing in resources like affordable childcare, housing, and public libraries to foster opportunity and stability. We also include calls for greater transparency, accountability, and engagement in decision-making processes. These elements are vital for building trust and fostering collaboration between the city and its residents. Members of the council, our community stands ready to contribute for the vision for a brighter Arvada. Let's work together to turn shared goals into actionable plans that uplift both our vulnerable neighbors and our city as a whole. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and your willingness to listen. We look forward to a productive partnership as we chart a thoughtful path forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in chambers this evening who would like to give public comment at this time? Miss in the white shirt, I believe I saw you first. Name and full address for the public record,
Yes,
please.
my name is Judy Dane. I live at 14795 West 58th Place. That's an unincorporated Jeffco. I am adjacent to a proposed development at 5950 McIntyre for very large warehouses and semi-truck traffic. The city of Arvada has 2 pieces of property involved in this. One of them is in the grading permit. They've segmented the permits into grading and development. The planning department here decided to waive their responsibilities and do what Jeffco wanted. We found an undisclosed easement on part of the property, and it does go on the grading permit, and we would like to make sure that the city of Arvada carefully considers the impact that this will have to the Heritage Canal Trail that's been planned since the 1980s. This is a connector trail to connect Van Bibber to the Ralston Trail, and the easement was from Colorado School of Mines Research Institute. The thing that's most alarming to me is that this planning department approved ignoring this, waiving your rights, these property rights, before the Transportation Committee presented their plans about 3 weeks ago. And on that plan, they sent out a public survey asking for residents to prioritize their rights. And sure enough, there's the Heritage Canal Trail right on the plans. So there seems to be a disconnect in the city about who's planning what and who gets to waive the opportunities for having a connector trail. And I urge you to take a close look at this, because you're really giving up a couple of rights that you have as a city: property rights for easements, for equestrians, and for your public citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe I saw other hands for, yes, please come forward.
Thank you for letting me speak again. I am Dixie Geist. I live at 4969 West 62nd Avenue. I am here in regards to the homeless shelter right behind me. I am not well educated. I have to really think about things. I am a survivor. I have lived in my home for 40 years. I love my area. I am scared. I'm not so scared for me because my journey's probably about over, but I want you to know that I am concerned for these people that sit behind me that have small children. These children have the right to be raised in a good neighborhood. I don't know if any of you have ever took the time to go downtown Denver and talk and walk with the homeless. I done this 2 weeks ago. My neighbor took me because I asked her. She said, Dixie, you don't do that. She said they might react in a criminal way. I said, Laura, I said, I'm 80 years old. And I said, you know what? I've lived in Arvada my entire life. And I said, I'm not scared. I said, if it's my time, it's my time. I said, I'm not going to be cruel to them. I'm going to ask them questions. Sure enough, she took me to a little restaurant down there, Old Mexico or something like that, bought me lunch. I said, let's start our walk. Are you sure? I said, yes, let's go. We had already passed through some areas where we seen the homeless gathered. We went, and I approached him first. She stayed behind me. I approached him, and I told him, I said, I'm not here to make fun of you. I'm not here to judge you. I said, I'm here to see if you get help, if you need help, do you want help? They absolutely was almost like, didn't know what to say back to me. And I said, you know, I said, do you need help? Why are you out here? And one of the men came forward and he said, I'm a drug addict. And I said, well, do you want help? And he said, no, I've been here 35 years. If I want a place to sleep, I go right across the street to the shelter. If I want something to eat, I go down to the There's a center down there that gives food all the time and Thanksgiving dinners and things. Jesus Saves, I think is the name of it. We can get food there. And since I'm a drug addict, I don't need any more. And his entire group said, thank you for asking, but they didn't want help. And I thought, this is what? And also the one right down here on 55th and Sheridan, like I told you last time, I was born and raised there. The culvert is nothing. Have you, any of you seen it? Sorry, I asked a question I didn't mean to.
It's okay. Your time has expired, but I'll give you a few seconds to wrap up, okay?
I'm sorry?
Your time has expired, but I'll give you a few more seconds to wrap up your thoughts, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry for going over.
Oh, you're fine.
I was just going to say the culvert down here on Sheridan, it's just full of filth and trash. They come out on the street to beg for money. We give it to them. We give them food. They go back and make a mess. Who pays to clean their messes up? The city don't even make them clean their own messes up. They should have to clean that up. Let them clean their garbage and poop and shit up. Why should we pay someone with hazmat to have to go in there and do that when they choose to make their life like that? I am so sorry. Please don't do this to my neighbors.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else in chambers? Please come down.
Hello, my name is Nathan Freed. You're going to have to excuse me. I'm a little bit out of my element here, so I was not planning on speaking tonight. I live at 6274 Xavier Court, Arvada, Colorado. So I'm speaking on the same subject as everybody else as the building. So I'm just going to be flat out with you. My brother died in 2007 of a heroin overdose. It did not stop me from keep doing drugs. I didn't care. I went to his funeral high on heroin. Didn't stop me. I was a drug user. The streets were my life. And then let me tell you something. When the cops were looking for me, I would hide in those places. I would go to these places that you're building, and I would hide there. And then I would find enough time for another place to hide in, another building, and I would jump around from these places. And that was just me. I'm not saying that you're opening up these doors for our criminals to hide and anything, but that's what I used to do. Okay? And, you know, if you want help, you're going to get help. You're not going to force anyone to get help. A lot of these people are comfortable on the street. You're not going to persuade them to do anything else. They don't want your help. They want your money, your drugs. The needles are great, by the way, when you give them out for free. Do you know how much they cost in stores for insulin users? I bet you don't. Go to your pharmacy and ask for a box of insulin syringes and ask how much that is. And you're giving them away just to stop the spread of AIDS and what else? Like, really, I mean, I don't see it. I don't get it. But you don't want to help people who really need the help, who are asking you for the help. But you're begging them to get help. You cannot beg these people to get help when they don't want your help. Telling you that flat out. I'm sober. I've been sober for 15 years. I usually don't count because I don't believe in counting, because tomorrow could be day one. You know, that's how it is for me. I don't know about everybody else, but it is for me. I live with my wife, Chelsea, and we love this neighborhood. I don't want to move. You know, I don't want to move from Colorado. I come from Florida. I'm a really bad Southwest Florida place near Miami, and I've seen it all. I mean, homelessness isn't even allowed there. They kick you out of the city there. But we didn't care about that. When you're on drugs, you don't care. Your mindset is in a whole different place. And I just want you to think about that. Okay? If these people really want help, they'll get their help. But we don't need it in our neighborhood. This house that I own now was a gift from my parents, who are Holocaust survivors. And it's the only thing I have from them, because after the hurricane, unfortunately, we lost everything. So this is all I have now, and that's why I'm speaking. Thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
Thank you. Yes, please come down.
Hello, my name is Loretta Baca. I live at 6048 Winona Court. I've been there for probably 25, 30 years. And to say that's probably the best place I've ever lived in, that has treated me well, I've been comfortable. And I just want to make it real brief to share a little confidentiality. I lost a daughter that was on drugs this year in March. She overdosed. My husband and I would help her, get her to shelters, get her the help, and she'd agree. And then when she went, she left that night and went right back into the streets. Did she have shelter with us? Yes. Did we offer what we could? Yes. Did we take her to places to get help, mental help? Yes. She stood there for a night or two, and then she went right back into the street. No matter what we did, she had a big heart, but she chose to live the streets. She got access to drugs. She had everything. She had money, she had this, she had that, and she lived in the streets. And that's something that I didn't want her to do because she comes from a good family. And so now she's not with us anymore, and she's in a better place, which is fine. But I know how hard. You can't force somebody. We did it, and we tried everything. And she went another direction, and now she's not here. So, it was hard, to lose a daughter. I don't know if any of you's ever lost a child, but I did for the first time, and it broke my heart. And yes, these shelters and everything, all they do is just a free place to get, what they could, food. They can get clothing, they can get mental. For how long? A day, a week, and then she left. She just, she went right back into the mud. So, please, I've seen it, and it's not going to work. It's not. I think this facility can be a better place, to maybe for like police or, some kind of a challenge for somebody to learn other things that's going to educate them and, the people that want to learn and make their lives matter. So, again, I just wanted to share that, and I want to thank you very much that you gave me this opportunity to come up here and share my life with everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are deeply sorry for your loss. Is there anyone else in chambers who would like to speak this night? Seeing none, Ms. Rush, I believe we have some on Zoom. There we go. Mr. Ortega, when you're ready. Mr. Ortega, I believe your microphone is off.
There we go. Can you hear me? I apologize.
We can hear you now. Your 3 minutes begin when you start.
Jerome Ortega. I live off of 64th and Sheridan. I would like to apologize for attending via Zoom. The daughter had swim class. I would like to first thank everybody in there who took their time and all those who came out to voice their concerns regarding the Navigation Center. I, along with other community members, have voiced our concerns to City Council regarding the lack of childcare in Arvada, Adams County, and Jefferson County. It has been said multiple times, these areas have been labeled as childcare deserts. Regionally, there is only enough childcare for approximately 8% of infants. A recent news article stated 17% of moms in Colorado are out of the labor force due to childcare, and this affects $3.8 billion of the state's economy. We have a solution to solve this here in Arvada. You have already purchased the ECA building, and yet instead of addressing underlying issues and root causes, you are content with addressing symptoms. It has been spoken about visible versus invisible homeless. What you don't see is the invisible parents, the invisible families, the invisible single mothers, the invisible single fathers who don't have the luxury of being able to attend a city council meeting due to a lack of childcare or because they're working to try and pay for said childcare. Do these families' voices not matter to you? Instead of fueling the homeless industrial complex, I suggest you make actual and meaningful change. Instead of creating a shelter, which is proposed as in your 2024 homeless action plan, is a harm reduction, low barrier shelter, I suggest funding childcare facilities, especially there. Your plan specifically addresses, first, to target those who are chronically homeless, to visit those encampments and conduct outreach. Creating low barrier and harm reduction shelters specifically target those addicted to illegal narcotics. That does nothing for families that can't make their rent or prevent families from being homeless, which was council's main concern during the October 7th meeting. I would like to point out that on October 7th, Councilmember Pfeiffer stated he does not want to address the criminal element. Needle exchange programs, naloxone handouts, no sobriety requirements, no criminal history checks, all address criminal elements. May I also remind you that CRS 18-18403.5, it makes it unlawful for someone to possess a controlled substance. That's the Colorado revised statute. I would also like to again reiterate the 51st and Marshall property was purchased over 2 years ago to address a regional homeless shelter, yet nothing has been done with it. Again, as I proposed on October 7th, the common sense solution is that you address not only a major issue, but also a root cause of homelessness and poverty by using the ECA building to combat your childcare issues, by offering reduced or free rent to childcare providers as you do to the food bank. By doing so, you reduce the cost, thus creating potential affordable and reliable childcare. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rush, is there anyone else on Zoom? Ben Murphy? All right.
Hello, can you hear me?
We sure can. Your time begins when you're ready.
Okay. My name's Ben Murphy. I live at 14992 West 70th Avenue in Arvada. I live in the Westwood Mesa HOA neighborhood behind the Christian Brothers Automotive. And I would like the city to really consider a potential placement for a traffic signal at 69th Avenue and Indiana. In the 6 years I've been here, the traffic there has really gotten out of hand, and with the additional businesses of the Arvada Excellence Dentistry, plus the 2 open spots there, and a new potential drive-through coffee house that's going to be just north of the Christian Brothers Automotive, we're going to see a vast increase in traffic through our neighborhood, and trying to turn left to go north on Indiana or south out of Maple Valley can be quite dangerous, especially during high traffic volumes. I did reach out to Mr. Pfeiffer, and he stated that we would be too close to the Ralston Creek, but the area that he proposed where the new Remington development is potentially going to occur is actually closer to the Ralston Creek than our street. Our street is already wide enough and has enough space for a traffic signal, and KB Homes, the Geos Homes, the Colorado Tap House has already given substantial amount of funds to the city for a traffic signal at that corner. We would like to see that upheld by the city council and working with the state to get us a traffic signal at that intersection. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Rush, is there anyone else on Zoom? Mr. Bodenstedt? Mr. Bodenstedt, are you with us?
There we go.
Welcome.
There we go. Now I'm live. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
We can. Please proceed.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, I am calling in today. I regret not being there in person. I was also at a swim lesson like Mr. Ortega. I appreciate hearing the testimony regarding the navigation center, both for and against. I'm here today as one of the applicants for the vacant city council seat. I wasn't able to present additional references that back my experience at the Unity Party of Colorado. I have TJ Cole. He's not online, but I have a written letter of recommendation recommending me. I won't read the full thing, mainly out of embarrassment. But and then it's a good letter. But then also I have a letter from my time on the Colorado High School water polo board from the current president, Matt Langford. I'm not sure that made it on time either. Just want to know that those that in my mind constitutes good board and commission experience, although it's not germane to the city of Arvada. It's still important experience that would be valuable for a city council member to have. In addition, I was at the grand opening of the Apex pool and met Ms. Simpson and Randy Mormon, who's not in attendance tonight. Just want to put one more plug in for a nonpartisan perspective with the city council. It is a nonpartisan office. I would like to be considered as a finalist for that reason. I don't know many people that are applying that are outside the two major parties, and would really appreciate a final consideration next week in that regard. I believe decisions come through tomorrow if they haven't already been made, and just making that final plug.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bodenstab. Ms. Rush, is there anyone else on Zoom this evening? Seeing none, did I see one more hand in chambers? Yes, please come forward. Welcome.
Karen Spriggs, and I did not plan this weekend at all. I just wanted to come to listen, but we also have a lot of concerns both ways. So for the Navigation Center, so Karen Spriggs, 7545 West 59th Avenue, Arvada. Anyway, I have been an educator for many years. I got into intervention. But I was also a kindergarten teacher, and I'm mentioning this because there's two things: prevention versus intervention. In our education system for many years, and this is related to the Navigation Center, prevention was early child education, putting resources into early education, kindergarten, the primary grades and all that. When schools didn't do that, we had the intervention for the 3rd and 4th grade, 5th grade, and on up. For the kids that did not know, didn't have their reading skills, didn't have their math skills. And they were, studies showed that if they didn't get early intervention, it took so much more effort and tons more resources and money to intervene for kids. So I'm mentioning this because of the Navigation Center too. If we're just doing it sounds like this was a campaign promise. I don't know, we all care about the poor. I know that. We want to help those who are truly needy. But to just do a Band-Aid fix or to do this intervention versus a prevention or the prevention care, as in taking care of the needs of the community, making sure that that community needs are met first, and that was my second point. I want to really bring up the community. This community is, we're supposed to serve the public. I realize this, the government, we elect you guys to represent us, but I believe it's our job too, to make sure to be involved with our neighbors and to really understand how to help each other. So I know that that's the idealistic, but then also the other point is, and I'm sorry, I'm really having a hard time speaking out, transparency and cooperation. We all want to be involved to help in ways that we can. Obviously, not always are we able to do that, but we want to be able to have the opportunity to cooperate and to have the transparency to work with you guys as well. So I want to bring up one more thing, and I have less than 30 seconds. Noise ordinance. We constantly hear, I'm close to Old Town, and I constantly hear motorcycles, etc., loud vehicles all during the night. It literally starts like at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and continues until 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning. And other people, we've tried to reach out to law enforcement. The non-emergency line doesn't exist anymore, pretty much. It's through the Jeffco thing. It's such a convoluted thing, it doesn't even work. But also, nobody really seems to enforce what is already on the books as far as the law. So I'm concerned about that. My neighborhood is, most of my neighbors are tired of having to deal with the extra noise that keeps a lot of us awake at night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before I close public comment, is there anyone else in chambers who would like to go this evening? Seeing none, I will go ahead and close the public comment portion of this evening's agenda. Thank you all so much for being here with us this evening. Next, we have new business. We have 3 items on the consent agenda, and I will read those off. They're sort of long ones, so bear with me, everybody. All right, first I will open R24-123, a resolution authorizing amendment number 3 to the Construction Management General Contractor Agreement between Arvada and BT Construction, Inc. for pre-construction services for North Trunk Sewer Improvements, Tennyson and 58th Project in an amount not to exceed $86,450 for purposes of awarding contractor Phase 2 with a guaranteed maximum price of $13,258,966.50, thereby increasing the total contract amount to an amount not to exceed $13,703,199.63. R24-124, a resolution authorizing amendment number 1 to a construction management general contractor agreement by and between the City of Arvada and Garney Companies, Inc. for North Trunk Sewer Improvements at Sheridan Boulevard and 76th Avenue for purposes of awarding Phase 2 at a guaranteed maximum price of $20,107,055.66, thereby increasing the contract amount from $192,522 to an amount not to exceed $20,299,577.66. Finally, we have R24-125, a resolution authorizing amendment number 2 to an agreement between the City of Arvada and Corollo Engineers, Inc. for final design and construction phase services relating to the North Trunk Line sanitary sewer improvements for the addition of Task 3 construction phase services at a cost of $1,062,921, thereby increasing the contract amount $717,062 to an amount not to exceed $1,779,983. Ms. Davis, I'm going to give you tonight.
Well, if we don't have any discussion, I would like to make a motion.
Please do.
I move that R24-123, R24-124, and R24-125 be approved.
All right. Thank you, Council. That passes 5-0 with Mayor Pro Tem Mormon being an excused absence. Next, we have 2 resolutions this evening. First, I will open R24-126, a resolution authorizing an agreement between the City of Arvada and the Old Town Arvada Business Improvement District for fiscal year 2025 programs and services in Old Town Arvada. And our presenter this evening is our Director of Community and Economic Development, Ms. Jessica Garner.
Thank you, Mayor. As part of the fiscal year 2025 budgeting process, the City Council provided support to the Business Improvement District by allocating matching funds of $93,000 to create a total bid, which is the Business Improvement District's operating budget for 2025 of approximately $258,000. In addition to the $93,000, the city, through a separate agreement, provides a not-to-exceed amount of $50,000 for leaf and snow removal for the 2024-2025 winter season. The agreement that was attached, it's in Exhibit C, I believe, in your packet. It summarizes the business relationship between the city and the Business Improvement District. The agreement's for a year. It will allow the city to, again, evaluate the bid's performance prior to considering an allocation for 2026. City funds will be used by the bid to support public programs and services, including enhanced maintenance, public safety, and event support. City services are defined by the Arvada Services document, which is Exhibit C in your packet. And the Arvada team recommends that the council approve R24-126, a resolution authorizing an agreement between the City of Arvada and Old Town, Business Improvement District for fiscal year 2025 programs and services in Old Town Arvada. And I'm available for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Councilmember Pfeiffer.
I'd like to make the motion if there's not any questions.
I see no other lights.
I move that Resolution 24-126, a resolution authorizing an agreement between the City of Arvada and the Old Town Arvada Business Improvement District for the fiscal year 2025 programs and services in Old Town Arvada be approved. And I'd also like to make a comment. I will say today I heard on the radio that out of all of the small business promotions or lack of, the only one that people were commenting on was how the bid really promoted Arvada during Small Business Saturday. So there was very little communication around Littleton's or Inglewoods or any of the other smaller communities. So I just want to thank the bid for doing yeoman's work and getting the word out about small businesses and promoting Old Town. And that's exactly why this agreement exists, and they delivered on it this holiday season. So appreciate their outreach and being recognized by the radio, actually, for doing so.
Excellent. Councilmember Ambrose.
Yeah, I will be voting in support of this resolution, and I also wanted to take a moment to thank the BID and the work. I've been going to their meetings since being on council last year, and it's just a really great place to see people who are super dedicated to Arvada and making it a wonderful place for everybody, but really organizing a lot of events that do wonderful things for the city. So I really appreciate the BID, and I think it's one of the things that we get a lot of return of investment. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, all votes are cast. And that passes 5-0 with Mayor Pro Tem Mormon being an excused absence. Indeed, thank you to all of our partners at the BID. They are truly fantastic. All right, next I will open R24-127, a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Arvada and Metro Water Recovery for relocation of the interceptor facilities. And our presenter on this item is our Director of Public Works, Ms. Jacqueline Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor, and good evening, Council. In 2020 through early 2022, the city performed a sanitary sewer master plan, and the results of that work were presented to the Council in January 2022 with details on all the required projects. An implementation schedule was presented in March. So the sanitary sewer master plan identified multiple segments of our north trunk line that are not big enough, including the segment in Tennyson from about 60th to Arvada's meter with Metro Water Recovery, just north of I-76. This segment, NT10, is one of our 4 highest priority areas, evaluating based on risk. The existing sewer is over capacity now in that segment, and this project is required to not only provide that capacity, but address the aging infrastructure. Because the existing pipe was installed in 1962. So the final design for this project includes a new, larger meter structure for discharging the sewer to the Metro Water Recovery. And this larger meter structure, again, is required for both the larger pipe and for the increased flows carried by the larger pipe. This agreement, this IGA, provides for demolition of the old structure and construction of a new structure. There are no alternatives to constructing a new meter structure. The Arvada team has worked with Metro Water Recovery staff on the terms of the IGA before you, and if approved, this IGA will be presented to the Metro Water Recovery Board of Directors in December for their approval. The Arvada team recommends that City Council approve R24-127, a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Arvada and Metro Water Recovery for relocation of interceptor facilities.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Davis, your light was on first.
Is there any discussion, Council? Then I'd like to make the motion.
Please have at it.
Very excited to make the motion that R24-127, a resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Arvada and Metro Water Recovery for relocation of the interceptor facilities be approved.
All right, all votes are cast. Whoops. My apologies, Council. I accidentally cleared them. Please cast one more time. There we go. The buttons are right next to each other. All right, that passes 5-0 with Mayor Pro Tem Mormon being an excused absence. Thank you very much. Finally, we have first reading this evening, and with the Mayor Pro Tem absent, Councilmember Pfeiffer has volunteered to take that one for us.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion for Council Bill 24-020, an ordinance authorizing an additional appropriation for fiscal year 2024. Public hearing be set for December 16th, 2024 at 6:15 p.m.
Thank you. Council will cast their votes. All right. That passes 5-0. Thank you very much. All right, and Mayor Pro Tem Mormon being an excused absence. There we go. We have no hearings this evening, so I will open the second public comment portion of this evening's agenda. Is there anyone in chambers who wishes to speak at this time? Seeing none, Ms. Rush, do we have any on Zoom? Seeing none, I will turn it over to council for reports. Councilmember Pfeiffer.
I have actually questions out of what we heard tonight. 2 things. One, our study session on our website is very, very generic, and I meant to bring this up last time. Is there any way we can add like at least a topic and maybe what the proposed agenda is on the website?
You're talking specifically about the December 7th?
Yeah, the study session.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't say anything.
We will have a full agenda posted as of the
40,
5th.
on the 48 hours.
Yeah. Per the guidelines. We will post the agenda and the
Okay.
details along with the Zoom link on December 5th.
And maybe in the future, we can just put at least a title of the topic, because it just says study session. It doesn't say anything other than
Okay.
that. So maybe that's a improvement opportunity.
Thank you.
But yeah, you're right, 48 hours, you'll post it. It looks like the link to the Zoom is already up there, so I think we're good there. The other thing I had was this JeffCom issue. I keep hearing this theme, and it just seems like JeffCom's kind of, maybe we can get with PD. Don knows about my issues back in the day when he was the chief, but it seems like these have popped back up again. And I even noticed when I called non-emergency for my day job, I got stuck into some weird loop as well. And I brought that up with Chief Brady, but I know we sit on that board. I think Chief Brady does. We need to push on JeffCom. It can't be that difficult to work with them. And especially when our constituents, time over time, every Monday, especially our Adams County constituents, are very, very concerned about this routing between AdCom and JeffCom. And it's not acceptable to just say, oh, well, it's a system problem, probably is what they're saying. And we need to fix it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get, because it deals with emergent issues, maybe we can get that as maybe a follow-up in the Friday Membos or something down the road till we get it, till they get it fixed. And that's gonna be hard for, I guess, PD to deal with 2 county and comms, but.
Yeah, appreciate that, Councilmember
Yeah.
Pfeiffer. We'll follow up
Okay.
and put some initial information in this week's weekly.
Yeah, I just feel like JeffCom's regressed to where they were going. So it's very disappointing, and we need to push on them to fix that.
If I may, Councilmember Pfeiffer, on those notes, can I ask for a specific clarification? Specifically, this issue has been around for a while. I've heard about it my entire time on council, previously as the District 2 council member. And it's one that I myself pushed on a good bit. And if memory serves, and I'd like for the team to be in the information provided to us to clarify, because as I recall, it used to be that the phone calls the towers automatically routed them to AdCom, who then tried to forward them to JeffCom. We pushed, in fact, I spoke with T-Mobile just earlier this year, and because they own the tower, and it now sounds like, based off what the public testimony is, that they are routing correctly to JeffCom now, but JeffCom doesn't believe they're supposed to be there, and they're trying to route them back to Adams. So I'm curious as to if that's the exact issue, because depending on where they're routing, it should be routing to JeffCom for APD, AdCom for fire and fire response, and then the appropriate department responding, and both sets of dispatchers need to know exactly who they're supposed to route and not be arguing back and forth. That's unacceptable. So.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, the sausage. All I want to do is get it fixed.
Yeah.
I agree, it's a problem.
It's been a persistent one.
I think Shauna might have something. So.
Yes. Is it on the same topic? Okay. On the same topic, please, Councilmember.
Yeah, and mine is also on the same
okay.
topic. So
Apologies. Yeah, please. Then.
I think this sounds like a training issue as well. It sounds like both sides, right hand, left hand's not speaking to one another. And so this really looks like it could be a training issue it's fallen in between the cracks, and we have to train the dispatch folks to look at a map and say, oh, this house is in Arvada, it is us, JeffCom, and then when it's fire, it is us, AdCom. And I know that this was a linkage between JeffCom and Denver's communications for Grant Ranch. And so I know it can be fixed because it was fixed between Denver and JeffCom, so we should be able to come to some sort of resolution.
Yeah. Thank you. Councilmember Ambrose.
Yes, on this issue, I also wanted to address the non-emergency number, both for Arvada PD and for JeffCom. I myself tried to contact JeffCom's non-emergency number for mandatory reporting in Adams County, who then referred me back to Adams County, who then referred me back to JeffCom. So I would like to make sure that the guidelines for mandatory reporting in Arvada, Adams County is also clear, and in the non-emergency numbers for Arvada PD and for JeffCom. are added to the things that we need to be clear on, because it's another area where it's not working.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Pfeiffer, did you have additional after the?
No, I appreciate you all looking into it. It's a tough one, but I'm sure you'll get it resolved.
Yes. And I appreciate all the public being here with us on Monday nights. I know they probably do have better things to do with their time, but I'm grateful they're here. And, oh, the Broncos are playing well, then they really do. But I appreciate everyone being here, and look forward to the study session and trying to realign where our priorities should be taking us. And I also want to commend the team. We had an extremely successful opening of the Arvada Aquatics Center facility recently, over the holidays. Councilmember Davis did not drown jumping into the deep end with us. Congratulations. And I would have never known that you are not a swimmer. So that was absolutely fantastic. It's a beautiful facility. To those parents who were home after swim lessons tonight, I have to wonder if they were at the new AC. And if not, I hope their children stick with the swimming so that they will be swimming one day with us at the swim teams in the AC. But just a truly beautiful, beautiful facility. I know it took years of planning and hard work. So big congratulations to every single member of the team who contributed to making that possible for our community. All right. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Ms. Haley, anything from you this evening?
Just a reminder for the next council meeting, we do have a workshop on December 9th. We have one workshop. It'll be our infrastructure work system with their annual update.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Morris?
Nothing from me, Your Honor.
All right, and with that, we did have one public testimony regarding the council vacancy for Councilmember Ferre's seat. I believe we will have that information posted on the city website tomorrow. All right, and with that, we stand adjourned.